Hello and welcome back to another video. My name is Anna and today I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about vaginal tearing during childbirth. Ouch. The first and probably most important thing I want to mention is that vaginal tears are not preventable, or at least not 100% preventable. There are a lot of factors that can play in as to whether or not you are going to tear and how severely you will tear. Of course, one of those things being overweight. The size of your baby can of course have a big impact, as well as the position of your baby while you are pushing. The position in which you are pushing can also affect this. Your genetics as well as your type of skin can have a big factor on whether or not and how severely you will tear. The speed of labor and more specifically the speed of your pushing process can also have a lot to do with this. The faster the pushing process, the more likely you are to have tears because you don't have as much time to stretch. Of course, interventions like the vacuum and forceps can also increase your chances of tearing or increase your chances of severely tearing. There's also medical emergencies that could potentially make your tearing worse. I am actually one of those people that had one of those medical emergencies. In my case, my baby boy's umbilical cord was extremely short, and as I was pushing, his cord ripped and he shot out of me, so I didn't have any preparation down there for stretching. I didn't crown at all. His whole body just came out all at once, and that made my tears more severe. And then of course, having an epidural or not having an epidural can be a big factor as to whether or not you will tear and how severely. There are of course ways that you can help prevent the tears or help prevent the severity of the tears. Number one thing that is recommended by most midwives and doctors as well is perineal massage. This is something that you can do on your own. There are also some prenatal physical therapists that can help you with that, or something that even your spouse or partner can help you with. Staying hydrated is also extremely important for the elasticity of your skin. Being able to use gravity when pushing can also be greatly helpful in preventing tears, or at least preventing the severity of tears, and that would be positions like being on all fours or squatting, again things that are using gravity to help you out. And then of course, utilizing the help of your doctor or midwife or nurse or whoever is helping you at the time of pushing, having them help out with perineal massage during pushing is greatly helpful. There is also just other things that they can do. Definitely talk to your healthcare provider, because they will be able to tell you what sort of practices they have and what they can do to help you during your pushing process. Even though most women do tear during childbirth, I don't want to scare you too much, so I want to give you a little bit of statistics so that you can be hopefully a little bit less scared when it comes to pushing and getting your baby out and tearing during that process. Only about 2 to 4% of women actually have severe tearing. That would be third and fourth degree tears, which we will talk about in a minute. And about 23% of women have just minimal tears that actually require no stitching at all. About 26% of women have tears that require some stitching, but again, minimal tears. About 27% of women about 27% of women have no tears at all, and about 20% of women will end up having a episiotomy. Episiotomy? I don't know how to pronounce that right. So let's talk about the types of tears that there are. There is of course first, second, third, and fourth degree tears. First degree tears are minor tears, usually superficial skin tearing that most of the time requires no stitching. Second degree tears are a little bit worse, although they're technically still considered minor tears. They do usually tear through some of the muscles in the perineal area, and those will most likely require some stitching. A third degree tear, which unfortunately is the one that I had, is actually a really severe tear that tears all the way through the muscles and into the anal sphincter muscle. And those of course will require internal and external stitching. Fourth degree tears of course are the most severe. They are going to require the most stitches, and thankfully they are also the rarest, and like I mentioned before, only about 2% of women will actually have a severe tear, and that is the third and fourth degree category. And with the fourth degree tear, you tear all the way down through your sphincter and actually into your rectum. The most commonly known tears, or the most commonly talked about tears, are of course the tears that go straight down, but that is not the only ones that can happen. You can also tear diagonally, you can tear on the sides, you can tear going up, and of course your labia can tear as well. I know that that sounds terrifying, and it is, and it's very painful, but thankfully the vaginal is amazing and it does heal. Sometimes, of course, if you have severe tearing, it does take a lot longer to heal, but ladies, it goes back and you will be normal again. And no matter what kind of tearing you have, and even if you don't have tearing, childbirth is tough and recovery is probably going to be tough, even if it is just for a little while. The more severe that your tear is, of course, the longer your recovery will be. When we're talking about 3rd and 4th degree tears, these are severe tears that are actually tearing through your muscles and through your rectal area, and that takes a lot longer to heal as well. Thankfully, like I mentioned before, these 3rd and 4th degree tears are not very common. About 76% of women will have minimal minor tears. So again, these are tears that are either gonna not even require stitches at all or have minimal stitching. That is a big percentage, so please don't be scared. But also it's important to have all this information because it's important to prepare. I want to make sure that I give you all the information that I can so that you are prepared for the just in case it does happen to you, so that you know that it's going to be painful. You can mentally prepare for it. I know that so many moms talk about how no one ever told them about certain things and they just weren't mentally prepared, and it was that much harder for them during the postpartum process, that they saw only all these women that like got up and walked and went on like hikes like a week after they gave birth. And that's beautiful to hear, but the reality is that for a lot of women, recovery can be really tough. And for a lot of women, tearing, and even not tearing, just healing from having a baby can be really painful and can take a long time. And on top of it, you are beginning a whole new process as a mother, whether it's your first baby or not, and all of that can have mental effects on your life. So all of that put together can be really tough, but if you are prepared mentally for things being hard, it's easier for you to handle those things when they do happen. And then if they don't happen, then you can be happily surprised. This is why I think it's so important to be very well informed about anything and everything: pregnancy, birth, and motherhood. Of course, none of us can really ever be fully prepared for what motherhood brings, but the more information that we can have, the more aware we are about what we are trying to accomplish and what we're going to go through. So that is it. That is all that I had to share with you today. I hope that you found today's video informative. Don't forget to give me a little thumbs up down there. It really lets me know that you are enjoying this kind of content, and it really supports my channel. Also, let me know in the comments down below if you are expecting your baby. When are you due? Are you excited? Is this your first baby, second, third? I'm excited to know. Let's chat down there. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell to be notified when we post next, and we will see you next time. Bye.